Welcome to Dodgers Dogs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network. Casey Porter here, so glad that you decided to tune in. Hey fans, we're going to go ahead tonight and we are going to finish our coverage of the 2024 draft class of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I've had a couple requests. I've got all the information, so I might as well throw it down and have at it. So some overall thoughts on this year's class. Obviously very interesting. We talked yesterday about how the Dodgers took high schoolers with their first two drafts, both left side infielders, then went with some pitchers, and then some college players, a college shortstop and Elijah Hainline, and then a whole slew of pitchers, and then some really talented players. The Dodgers, I'll tell you what, one thing that really sticks out about this class, just as a whole, is that you got youth with high schoolers, you got college kids, you got left-handed pitchers, you got right-handed pitchers, you got guys that have big stuff that are coming off of injuries. You have guys that have crafty stuff right now that have the potential to have big stuff, and then you have guys that right now have the big stuff already. So you have a lot of guys that are projectable, that when you plug them into the Dodgers formula, especially the pitchers, they stand to have a lot of success with tall frames. And then the type of pitch mixes that the Dodgers really have always used and have started to use more as of late. So we're going to take you through a lot of these guys and why I think they fit so well in the Dodgers system. Hey, everybody that gets drafted is talented. So what you look for when you're talking about something like this, what are the separators? What makes the guys that the Dodgers take, what's going to make them better than all the guys that other organizations took for them? Because, hey, to be honest with you, everybody drafts just about equal talent, just for the simple fact that everybody's so talented. The difference is the Dodgers know how to find guys that fit their formula and that fit in their system, then they know how to develop them. So, hey, we're going to go at it, and we're going to talk about all the rest of the 2024 draft class. So with that, let's not waste more time. Let's get right to it, and let's talk 2024 draft. Who you're looking at right here is Aiden Fehr, and this is a young man that was drafted out of the ninth pick for the Dodgers, 23-year-old right-handed pitcher out of Southern Illinois. And by the way, last year he led the Missouri Valley Conference in strikeouts with 105. So there is one of the metrics that the Dodgers like. They like guys that have a lot of swing and miss in their stuff. Now, it doesn't have to be high velo. It could be movement. It could be sinkers. It could be four seams, whatever. But if you record a lot of strikeouts, you are going to fit into the formula of the Dodgers. He was also top 30 in strikeouts per nine at 12-17. So Fehr, no doubt about it, knows how to get swing and miss. And then also he knows how to eat innings. As evidenced, in his last 7 outings, he averaged over 6 innings an outing. So very projectable, meaning, hey, don't look at the stats right now at Southern Illinois. Look at what he could project to be once he gets into the Dodgers system, and all of the underlying metrics, talking about his extension, all the movement on his pitches, all of the ability to get swing and miss, all of that just absolutely indicates that once he gets in the Dodgers system, he is going to continue to excel. Kind of like a Patrick Copen type deal. Good fastball up to 94-ish, and then his spin. Here's another underlying metric we talked about. We talked about his extension a minute ago. How about spin rate of 2,500 on that fastball that you're seeing right there? And then also room to grow. So you're talking about a young man that could end up throwing 97-ish with that type of slider with spin that is over 2,500. That's why the Dodgers were high on this young man. And then also he has a slider that's very effective, especially when he has the feel of it. So, hey, there is Aiden Fehr, the Dodgers' 9th pick, and drafted in the 9th round, a 23-year-old out of Southern Illinois. So this is left-hander Cody Morris, who was drafted in the 12th round. And what I want you to notice here, look at the whip in his throw right here. See how his arm just whips? It's like a buggy whip coming into the zone. And then also the 3/4 slot. And I'll tell you what, he was committed to go to Oklahoma University out of Weatherford Junior College, very familiar with Weatherford in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, more so the Fort Worth area. Oklahoma State has picked a lot of players up out of there, Dustin Williams being the most recent that I can remember. Look at that back foot slider. So when you take that buggy whip of the type of delivery he has, and then also now he doesn't crossfire, but that 3/4 delivery, whenever he comes across the plate to that inside part of the zone to right-handers like that, it does give a crossfire type feel. And then that slider right there is really nice. Low 90s on the fastball, but out of that big, tall, long frame that he has, that it is projectable for that fastball to shoot right on up the ladder once he gets into the Dodgers system. And he pairs that with that slider we just saw a minute ago that he throws to the back foot. And then also he throws a sinker that turns left for him. And then also there's that fastball I talked about that had a little bit of crossfire. He throws that splinker as well as a changeup. See that pitch how it turned left? Let me go ahead and back that up and watch this left turn right here. It has a little two-seam action to it right there, that left turn. I think he can combine that with his changeup to throw that. There's another changeup there. So you saw his sinker and then his changeup back-to-back. I think he can combine those two pitches into what we heard with Lucas Weff in his interview the other day. A splinker, which is in between the two, and then add a four-seam. I think that's one route that the Dodgers could go to maximize his potential. But Cody Morris, the young man who, again, was going to OU, a big, tall dude. Weatherford, by the way, community college, is a stud JUCO. Super excited about the potential that he has once he gets into the system. So this is Mike Volani, and hey, if you want to know more about him, Bruce Kuntz actually does the play-by-play, or at least the broadcasting. I don't know if he's play-by-play or if he's the color analyst, but he does the broadcasting for Long Beach State. That's where he gets those spreadsheets where you see all the velo and the extension and all that. He actually has a buddy that gets into that. You just saw the slider there from Volani. There's the pitch, though. Let me back that up and show you that one. Now, this wasn't a strike, but just to give you the effect. Look at that right turn for him. It's a left turn as you're seeing it. That sinker pitch right there is a great pitch. And then also the thing about it that makes it very effective for him, that glove side, see how that straightens out? So when he throws it to the glove side, which is the outside corner to righties, that ends up straightening his pitch out. But whenever he center cuts it, see how he center cut that pitch? Let me back that up. When he center cuts a pitch and or throws it to the arm side, it has tail to it. So two different fastballs. Let's see that tail there. I'm going to back that up. See how this was center cut right here? And then it tails right there. So when he center cuts it or he goes to the arm side, it has run. It straightens out to the glove side like there. I know he pulled that and it was not a strike, but you can see how that straightens out. There is some more tail there at 94 miles an hour. So when you combine the ability to be able to, that one right there, to be able to locate to the glove side by straightening out a four seam, combined with being able to move away from barrels with that sinker. So you're going to be able to pitch to safety by hitting locations with the straight four seam to the outside corner to righties like that. And then you're going to be able to pitch to safety by moving into danger spots. There is another four seam that's straight to the glove side. Pitching to dangerous spots, which are inside to righties, by moving off the barrel, by getting the ball to move. And so just fastball alone, I like Mike Volani. He has touched 98 miles an hour. There's another straight one there. And you saw his slider. That is a good offering when he has the feel of it. And when you put all of that into the equation, that movement plus the location of the four seam, that's why his batting average against was just 185, and he had a strikeout per 9 ratio of 1044. So Mike Volani out of Long Beach State, there you go. This is Will Gagman right here, a UCLA commit. So, hey, it's going to be difficult to get him signed. The NIL money is absolutely insane. I know that the slot value money is really good too, but when you combine the type of elite education you get at UCLA, look at that curveball. That is a nice pitch by Will Gagman there. When you combine the type of elite education that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, plus the NIL money that these guys are getting to go to college, and you compare that to a professional setting that once they sign to play minor leagues is not going to be a great salary a lot of the times, it is a very difficult decision for these guys. So what you're seeing here, and this is according to Gagman's Twitter, 93-95 on the fastball. There hits his curveball. That's at about 75 miles an hour. You've also seen there's a cutter right there. See that smaller bullet shaped type slider cutter pitch, and there's another cutter right there that he kind of center cut. And he also has a slider, that one right there. That's more of kind of halfway in between a cutter and a slider. So, hey, there is the good look at Will Gagman. Looks like to me he hides the ball very well, and he recorded 27 at-bats in 2022, 2023. So he was a two-way player at Reedley, but he did not bat at all last year. So I assume that he is a pitcher only at this point, posting an ERA of 4.65 and then 3.69 in his 2 years at Reedley. And then, but here's another deal. Ks per nine last year, 16.43. So when you talk about, hey, what does he do that the Dodgers maximize? Again, swing and miss, strikeout type stuff, Will Gagman. Can you say fast? Can you say middle infield? Can you say swag? Can you say confident? And can you say young? That has been a highlight of the Dodgers draft this year. And this is Eric Parker right here. I mean, I love this guy. 15th round pick, 460. Are you kidding me? Look at that glove work. Look at that. I don't like the double pat there, but you can tell he has been very well trained by a very high-level infield coach as to how it places his glove. See how the glove gets down in time. He presents the glove. And then this swing here, there's quite a bit of forward movement to it on some of the swings, not as much there. But this is just absolutely a gorgeous, just a simple swing. We talked about how the hands replaced the elbow yesterday and how flat and how simple and direct this swing is to the ball. And then also I wanted to point out, look how tall he is on the backside. That tall backside is going to lead to a lot of those right there. Low line drives, ground balls, and when you can run like he can, why not? So smooth footwork, a very smooth, simple, compact, and direct swing. Eric Parker presents a lot of talent. And then again, he's 18 years old, and so it's one of those deals to where you could get him in the system and really kind of develop him how you want. Now, he's from Gwinnett, which is a suburb in the northern Atlanta area. Actually, I don't know if it's northern Atlanta, but it's North Gwinnett, I'll say that. So he is a commit to Georgia. And again, SEC NIL money is absolutely insane. An SEC experience in baseball is absolutely incredible. It's an incredibly high level of playing talent that he will see there. He's going to get paid to go to Georgia, and he's going to get a great education, which again is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So being a 15th round pick, 460, one of those situations to where you'll just have to wait and see which way it goes. This is Evan Shaw right here, my man from Kansas. Got a chance to see him many different times for the old Jayhawkers. And I'll tell you what, he's from Minnesota, originally went to Minnesota State, then he went to Cochise College in Arizona. Very familiar with Cochise College. Lots of great players come from there. And he was actually a National Junior College all-region selection, too, when he recorded here. Here's another deal, 184 strikeouts and 129 innings. That is a strikeout per nine ratio of 1284. So swing and miss stuff. I've seen it with my own eyes. This is him against Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game where he had a really nice game. He made 10 starts at Kansas as a junior, 1276 in terms of Ks per nine innings and a strikeout to walk ratio. His head coach knows what he's doing. That's good enough for me. All right, sit down and grab you some popcorn here, as I have no clue how a guy that is this talented, that plays the middle infield, he played a lot of second base at OU, was dropped this low. And I one really cool moment, I can remember it like it was yesterday, a young man at Oklahoma State, Gabe Davis, who's from Choctaw, Oklahoma, big man that just played on the national team, the United States national team just here last month, actually reached 100 miles an hour while he was facing Jackson Nicholas in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and that was the first time that Gabe Davis had ever reached 100. So, hey, he played as a freshman on that OU team. Remember, they went all the way to the College World Series finals and lost to Ole Miss, so he has a lot of dog in him. And we talk about, hey, how does it work for the Dodgers? Home runs and walks. He's hit 27 home runs in 3 years at OU, and then I've seen him hit 2 home runs on back-to-back days and then bunt for a base hit the next day, like you're seeing right there. I've seen that many different times. There's another bunt base hit. So you've seen bunts to both sides of the field. You've seen the power that he has with the 27 home runs, and then you've seen the fact that he's clutch with the walk-off and the fact that he got great experience at OU in the finals of the College World Series. So he does have eligibility left. OU is headed to the SEC. That NIL money is going to be crazy. It is a lower draft slot than by far, in my opinion, than he should have been. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Jackson Nicholas. I'm telling you, though, This kid is good. If the Dodgers get him signed, it will be probably the steal of the draft on the position player side. Boy, this is a Dodgers story if you've ever heard one. This is Isaac Aiden, who can throw the ball like 700 miles an hour, but he hasn't been able to pitch in the last couple of years. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, the guy, let's back up. Coming out of high school, he's a top 300 national player. Went to Oregon, got mound time right away as a freshman, 2021, and he threw 87 in a thirds innings. That's a whole bunch for a freshman, right, in college. And so he got off to a really good start, but then had to miss 2023, and he had UCL brace repair, which is an alternative to Tommy John. It's supposed to be an alternative that gets you back in pitching faster. So he did that instead of Tommy John. It did not work. So he missed 2023 to the UCL brace repair, then had to miss last year to Tommy John. So when you look all the way back, just almost exactly like Michael Grove, like Justin Robleski, absolutely no experience other than 1 year as a freshman in college, and that's it. Has not pitched the last 2 years, and the Dodgers thought so much of his pitchability and his upside that they went ahead and drafted him anyways. And hey, if there's an organization that is willing to take that kind of chance on the high upside, how does this fit into the Dodgers? High upside, high stuff, big time stuff. That's going to be a fastball that's going to eventually approach 100 miles an hour with wicked secondary pitches. So right there, that's not a strike, I understand, but it has great movement. So high upside, but yet a situation to where you get him in a lower draft pick. You're buying low because he's not fully healthy at this point. That is just typical Dodgers. They usually cash in on that type of situation. We will see what happens with Isaac Aiden. Speed, and more speed, and then youth, a switch hitter, and a guy who has spent 1 year in college. And also, by the way, this is Chase Williams, who was the 19th round draft pick for the Dodgers, pick 580 overall. He played shortstop all the way through, and now he's playing outfield. And boy, look at that really direct swing. Swings down through the ball, definitely. Let me back you up to his right-handed swing here and show you just how much he swings down through that ball. See that? Let me back that up and actually slow motion that down through the ball. Look how steep he is down to that ball. My goodness, right there. That is a lot of torque and a lot of downward movement that he has given that ball. That's going to be a lot of hard ground balls and line drives. Left-handed swing down to the ball again, but a lot more lift in the front. So I got to think his left-handed swing, especially against right-handers, you can tell that he's more comfortable left-handed because he faces more right-handers, right? So his left-handed swing, I think, is going to provide, at least at this moment, more power, although you see the walk-off there. But hey, another young man who is young, just 19 years old, 1 year at junior college. Again, another guy that is committed. Matter of fact, he went to Northwest Florida State for 1 year. That's a really nice junior college in Florida. And he got an offer from Florida State. He is committed to the Seminoles as of right now. So another one of those college guys, 19th round, pick 580. He's going to have some NIL money thrown at him. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Chase Williams. But this is a young man I really hope the Dodgers sign because he needs to get into the system. Hey, play at Rancho for a while, get with some of those really talented young outfielders, and just continue to grow. In 3 or 4 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years, you got something that's pretty special with the speed. But you got to like the fact that up and down this entire roster, you're seeing youth and you're seeing speed at the forefront for the Dodgers on the position side. So this is Hunter Elliott right here. And if you remember me talking about Jackson Nicholas in that championship series for the College World Series for the national championship a couple of years ago, Hunter Elliott was a big part of that as a freshman. This is a 6'3" lefty. Hotty toddy, by the way, for the Ole Miss running Rebels. And boy, I tell you what, whenever you're talking about a guy that's coming off of Tommy John, like Elliott, of course, Elliott is just like a lot of these other guys, got off to a fast start and then ended up having Tommy John, and now he's coming to the Dodgers off of that Tommy John. But one more time, if you're going to come to, there is the championship series against OU, and that actually is Jackson Nicholas that just swung that bat that you just saw that we talked about a minute ago. The Dodgers, they offer a doctorate for pitchers recovering from Tommy John surgery, no doubt about it. There's a good pickoff move there. So, hey, this is a guy that is known to carve up lefties. You can see that crossfire. That's going to be very good against lefties. We talked about that just a minute ago with Cody Morris as well. He has a good change that when the changeup is on, that changeup can carry him. His fastball is good, and the thing that I like about him, just Mike Bianco, who's a wonderful coach there at Ole Miss, the thing that he raves about Hunter Elliott is the fact that even when he doesn't go out with his best stuff, he grits and he grinds and he continues to move on from one pitch to the next until he figures out what he is doing well that day. So he's a grinder. He can take out his B game and still give you a quality start, but then when he takes his A game out there, it's absolutely lights out. So lots to like about Hunter Elliott, who's coming off of Tommy John.